Hope you had a enjoyable holiday, and I hope you're practicing your social distancing, and I also hope you're practicing the wearing of masks when you're going to public places. Yes, I gave you some notes the other day. The sprints, and in every sprint event, there are four phases. There's the start, there's the drive phase, there's the running phase, and there's the finish. So for you to be a complete sprinter or to master the art of sprinting, you have to at least master all four phases of the 100 meters. So today we're going to do starts. Alright? Before we get into the on your mark, set, go part of the start, what we need to remember is that in order for us to start, we need a trail leg, and we also need a power leg. The power leg is the leg that pushes the athletes off the starting blocks. So the first thing as a sprinter that you need to establish is the difference between your trail leg and your power leg. For people who play football, that leg is already established, because the stronger are the two legs. The legs that you normally use to kick the ball is normally your power leg. I am a person that uses both legs, so for me it was tricky to discover which one of my legs is my power leg. But I learned over time that in order to establish the power leg, you put both hands behind you, put both feet together, lean forward as far as possible, and the leg that comes forward first is normally the power leg, because that's the leg that is going to react first. Alright, so I established my power leg to be my right leg. So what I'll do, first I need to learn how to set my blocks. So what I'll do, I'll take one step from the line and I'll put the blocks. So my blocks will be right there from the line, my starting blocks. Then I take another step to put my first starting block, and then I take another step to set the second starting block. So I would have my starting block, one would be here, one would be right here. So what I do now, my power leg would be my front foot, the foot that is up front. So first thing is to your marks. Alright? Alright? This is the first command given by a start. To your marks. Fingers behind the line, thumb and index forming a V with the other fingers supporting. Alright? The arms should be slightly wider than shoulders, with the legs making a 3-point contact with the ground. Knee, toes, and knee and toes of the power leg. Watch again. Knees of the trail leg, toes of the trail leg, and the toes of the power leg. Alright? Fingers and toes, arms should be wider than the shoulders, locking at the elbows. Alright, to support the body. The head should be down and you should be comfortable. There should be enough space between here to push a clenched fist. Alright? So let's go. First command is to your mark. Head down. The second command is set. When the butt becomes slightly higher than the shoulders, they are looking slightly ahead of you. Now the weight is now distributed to the arms. And the third command is go, is when you push off from the blocks using your power leg to propel you forward. As I said before, 100 meters has 4 phases. If you don't learn to execute all 4 phases correctly, chances are you're not a good sprinter. Most good sprinters are not necessarily the fastest person. Most good sprinters are the ones who execute each part of the race to perfection. For example, the start is what it is. Set, go, you come up. The second phase is the drive phase, and this is the phase when you realize the athletes are trying to stay low. They want to be as dynamic as possible, so they can maintain enough energy to accelerate for much longer. So the second phase, the third phase would be the flight phase, and the flight phase is actually the running phase. The fourth and final phase would be the finish. When you lean forward, remember, even if the leg crosses the line before the person who leans forward, the person who leans forward is still going to win the race, because it's not what part of the body crosses the line first. The rules state that the torso is the part that must crosses the finish line first for you to be a winner. Alright? So, in a nutshell, we've gone through how to establish the power leg. We've gone through how to go on your marks, because what we did just now was the crouch start. There are two types of starts used in track and field. There's the crouch start that is used for sprint events, 100, 200, 400. You have the standing start that is used for middle and long distance running. The standing start would look something like this. One leg in front of the other, one arm in front of the other, looking like this. The difference between the crouch start and the standing start is that when you're making a crouch start, you get 3 commands. To your mark, get set, whether it's a clipboard, whether it's a person shouting go, or it's a gunshot to indicate go, then it's you move. In a crouch start situation, you get only 2 commands. They tell you to approach the line, they tell you to get set, and then go. So the difference between a crouch and a standing start is standing start are used for the crouch start are used for sprints, and the standing starts are used for middle and long distance events. You got some information on track and field. A lot of persons get confused with track and field, not knowing what the 2 words mean. Alright, track and field means all the events that are done on the track and all the events that are done on the field. Alright, for the track events are divided into 3 categories. There's the sprint, there's the middle distance, and there's the long distance. I gave you in your notes, but the sprint events would be the 100, the 200, and the 400 meters. The middle distance event would be the 8 and the 1500 meters, and the long distance events would be the 3000, 4000 meters. You have 3000 meters, 5000 meters, and you also have this 3000 meter steeplechase. Alright, we're moving on. So we learn about the track events, and those are track events. Remember, the words are track and field. The field events are divided into 2 categories: the throwing and the jumping events. All the throwing events, all the jumping events are classified as field events. We have the shot put, we have the discus, and these are throwing events. We have shot put, discus, we have the hammer, and we have the javelin. The shot put is the ball that is placed at the neck and put forward. The discus is the disc shape or implement that you twist and release over your shoulder. The javelin is a spear-like implement that you run and you release up and over the shoulders. And the hammer is a ball attached to a string that you spin to pick up speed. You pick up enough speed and you release up and over the shoulder. So those are the throwing events. The jumping events include long jump, high jump, triple jump, and the excited, last but not least, the pole vault. Alright, the long jump is where you see the person run, hits the board, lands into the pit. The triple jump, however, is somewhat similar to the long jump. The only difference is, as the name implies, triple jump, you have to do 3 movements, 2 movements plus a jump before the jump can be totally executed. So what you do is a hop, a step, and a jump to complete a triple jump. That's why it is somewhat similar to long jump. You still take off from a board, you still run up to a board, but in the process of doing this, you have to do a hop, a step and the jump for the jump to be completed. Like all jumps, you must leave from behind the distance of jump. All jumps are measured from the closest impression to the board. Alright, we're moving on with it.